We have a pack of playing cards, a pen, and a prediction I had made earlier for what is to happen. I folded it up and put a paper clip on it, and we'll get to this in a bit. So for right now, we'll leave it off to the side right here. So let's actually get into the little card trick. We have cards, we can mix them up, doesn't really matter. And we're going to need a card selected by an audience member. So let's do it this way. I go to a spectator and I go to them and say, I'm going to dribble the cards across like so. You tell me when to stop whenever you like. And we go across. And I say stop, say here. And we ask if it's good. Good. Okay. And we'll just use this card. It doesn't matter if I see it in this case, the 9 diamonds in this case. So what we'll do is we'll have them sign the card to make sure it is permanent and that we can have some fun. So let's say their name is Jordan. Okay. So they signed their card. Hopefully you can see this as an audience member, Jordan, and with a little happy face to make sure it's very, very fair. So we have Jordan amongst all the choices of playing cards, and we'll use the Jordan card. We'll actually call it the Jordan card now for this trick. We'll get it, and we'll place it, say about, halfway down the pack. We'll push it inside, and it's not on top, not on bottom, but here's the fun part. Here's where the fun part comes into play. As the audience member, Jordan, who had selected the card, all you have to do is actually just give a little snap of the fingers over the pack, and the card will rise. And they do so, and the card will rise right to the top. Jordan's card. I know it's unbelievable, so we'll try it again. This time we'll get it very fairly. We'll get it, and we'll place it, say about there. They can push it in themselves. It hasn't risen to the top yet. But you snap your fingers and say rise, and actually check this out, I'll do it from the side. You say snap your fingers, and you actually see it rise right to the top, just like that. And actually very visually, I might add. So let's actually do something even crazier with the Jordan card. So what we're going to do is grab Jordan's card. We're going to get it, and they tell me when to stop whenever they like. They say stop as I put the card in, let's say right here. Okay, I ask if that is correct. They do so, and then they push it in themselves. And they would suddenly see the card appearing in my mouth, which would be a very, very fun effect indeed. For the magical audience. So we can actually put this card away. That was a little side effect for the main effect of what is to come. And because remember, in the very beginning, I had that blue prediction that was right there. And we were going to do something amazing with it. So that being said, they can check it out. They can see that it is still sealed. I have not edited this video in any way, so you can actually see the blue card since the very beginning. We can actually remove the paper clip, and I can actually open it on up. And would you be amazed if this prediction was the same exact card? I don't know if it could be the exact same one, but the same exact card as what we predicted earlier. That'd be pretty good. But I don't go for pretty good. I go for pretty dang amazing. My name is Dan, and I hope you have a good one. Thank you. Wow, that trick looks pretty great on film. Even with the minor flash of the twirl change because of restricted conditioning, that is a pretty amazing thing. This is my take on the classic ACR plot, which I just felt was too unilateral, didn't have much of a build-up. It would just rise, rise, rise. And the effect, the card to anywhere didn't really have a meaning. Why did it go there? Why? How is there an attachment to it? So this is my solution to that effect. and I hope you enjoy it. So there is a small setup that you have to do every time for the performance. So this is geared as a one-off for the night. You want to impress magicians or fool a late audience badly for a big show or just one trick of the night. I'd choose this one as one of the effects I do for the night. It's a very special one. So for this, we're going to have a blue-backed card. It's a red card, so when you write on it, you could see the contrast of it. You're going to need a Sharpie marker and a normal pack of playing cards. And so here is a minor setup, and let's get into it. What this is we're going to actually remove the red-backed 7 of diamonds so that it doesn't come across in the routine. It'll make sense later. There's always a chance it could come up. So we get this card and we put it inside our pocket, remove it. This does not hold any use. We just get rid of it. There you go. So forget about that one. So the only thing in here is the blue-backed one. There's no red-backed 7 of diamonds. Okay? This goes on the bottom of the pack. And you're set up. Believe it or not, that's all you need. Blue-backed 7 of diamonds on bottom. Red pack with no red 7 diamonds in there. And then you put this in here in a way that you don't flash the bottom card. I know I was flashing a little bit just because the angles in the camera are low. But normally, however you get it out, make sure that the bottom card does not show, so you don't show the force card was from the bottom. So you put that inside the pack. You're all set there. Oh, and one more thing. You also need another blue-backed card. And just a random card. You fold it inwards. Jay Sankey usually uses blank-faced blue-back cards, or for when he does his routines like... God, I'm going to give you some self-promotion or some promotion for him. His, gosh, what is this? This Paperclipped. His Paperclip DVD and Paperclip 2.0. They are one of the best DVDs. I will just say it because I love the guy. One of the best DVDs overall ever produced, and it was a lot of ideas for a great move. This is up there with his $100 bill changes, 2 of his, in my opinion, best creations. I'm being biased. I know he has a ton of creations that are great, especially with his... I could keep on going. Let's just get to the point. Paperclips was a great DVD, okay? So we fold up the card, and we're going to do a paperclip technique, which I'm going to credit to Jay Sankey. He deserves all the credit for this and helping me add to that idea. So we fold up a card, random card, could be blank face, could be a regular card. Just get a pretty good fold and make sure none of the outside is flashing, and then put a good sized paperclip on it. Okay? And you can have this inside your pocket. So, set up deck, Sharpie, folded up blue back card. Okay? And this goes in your pocket, or it could be in your hands, as I did in performance. Doesn't really matter. Okay? And so you come inside. So when you're ready for the night, the special performance of the night, so you're building on up, everyone wants to see that special thing. And you say, okay, let's do it. So you got to pack cards and a Sharpie. And you say, before we even begin, we got to pack cards and a Sharpie, and I made a prediction since the very beginning. Okay? So we got this card right here, and we place it aside. This could be under spectator's hand, this could be under spectator's foot, coffee tray on top of it, whatever makes it feel secure, or just leave it right there. Whatever. Just so spectators don't know that, or it's not possible, spectators can think you got to in some way and modified it. So, we got the cards, and we check for the face. I nearly did it myself, flashing the bottom card. Don't want to do that. Flipped over towards myself and take the pack out. And just be careful that you don't flash the bottom card. It's a different color. Okay? So we got the pack out. We can give it a quick shuffle. I just do an overhand shuffle just to make it seem offhand and casual before we even begin. We only have to protect one card, so we're fine there. Just don't shuffle off the bottom half. Do the upper half right here and just shuffle off. Okay? Now, we do a swing cut, a little minor swing cut, a third, or like a sixth, another down to half, and then 3/4, so there's only a quarter left here. There's only a quarter of pack cards, like, you know, maybe 20 cards there. So we got them right here. And so when we do dribble force, it makes it easier to force right here. And that's what we're going for. We're going for a dribble force. So we do a couple cuts, just make it seem natural, doesn't really matter. And now we're all set up. A pinky break in between, the force card right here of the bottom packet, all the rest of the cards right here. And you mime it. when you transfer to a biddle grip, right here, holding the break between two packets, and you're going to mime the action. So you transfer from here to here. As you demonstrate, I'm going to go across the cards like this. You tell me when to stop whenever you like. And you can just do a couple cards just to mime the action. So they get what's to come. Because if you do it and people don't get it, that's bad. So it's always good to demonstrate beforehand. So you mime it, and they got it, and say, okay, tell me when to stop. And you could put pressure so the break is minimalized if you have people from all angles. So that minimalizes angles there. Otherwise, if you do it normally, you might get that. And that's a large break. So putting your forefinger on there minimalizes that. So we do it for real. They say stop, and wherever they say stop, when they say stop, whenever they say stop, you just let go of the break to this point. Doesn't matter where. They can say stop at the very beginning. Stop! Okay. No matter what, you just get to that point. Just drop all the cards and get to that point. Good? Good. So now we got that. We're at that point. And now we forced the 7 of diamonds. Okay. And what we do at this point, this was an interesting take. There were many different ways I was going to handle how to get the break and do the transfer and everything. What I do is I just put these cards underneath my armpit if I'm standing, or if on the table, which is most likely the case for this particular effect. It has more of a table vibe. You set the cards aside. Everything that was, in this case, below the card you forced, they say stop. Here you go. And we can set the rest of the cards aside. They hold no importance for right now. And then we turn up the card. Doesn't matter if I see it. It really doesn't in this context. Does it ever for an ACR? I mean, maybe for Daryl's. Different story. So then we now we have them sign the force card right here. And so let's say I don't know, what name should we use? Maybelline. Maybelline. And then I will try to make it unique so that it stands out from all the rest. And you can ask them to put some little emoticon on there or whatever, just to make sure it stands out from all the rest. And then it makes it extra fair, you know? There's only one card like this in the entire world, and it's really, really probably true. So then we can get a break however you want. You need a break. So in addition to this card, you're going to need a break under 4 cards. So a 5-card break below 5 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4 cards and the actual selection. So how I do this, you could have chosen a selection of any of these guys, but you happen to stop at the 9 of diamonds and just spreading on through. You got the break. You can do it more casual if you want. You can do a riffle off thumb break. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After blowing it, you can count 3, 4, 5 to make sure it's settled. It stays on there. Like you naturally have to blow with the Sharpie to make sure. And while you're blowing on it, you can get the 5 count of cards, transfer it, and now you got the 5-card break right there, which is really cool. Or you just spread on through. Whatever method you choose or decide to use or make up your own, it's up to you. So from there, we got the 5-card break, and now what we do is we do a move I first heard about and noticed in the Commercial Magic of J.C. Wagner. We take the 5 cards, we hold it by the middle finger and thumb, just the 5 cards, and then the other cards are held by the thumb. So it looks like this: 5 cards, break, and then the rest of the pack. Now what we do is we take the lower part of the pack with the thumb and middle finger of the dominant hand, and then we rotate it downwards. So this 5 cards right here are just held freely. So do this, and then do this. So done very quickly, or casually, done very casually, and albeit smoothly, like so. It makes it seem like we're just turning down the rest of the pack, and all we have is that single selection. To further demonstrate that theme of a single card, we then add this packet to this packet, coalescing everything. So now we just show or fairly display the 7 diamonds on top, whereas we got the 5-card break still. We just keep on transferring it so we keep that 5-card break. From here, we turn the card down, we can deal it out to center, and you can play around with your own variations on this. This is my take with the color changing stranger card, so it adds a lot of cool theme to it. Also, credit goes to Daniel Blair, as he got me addicted to the stranger card plot which I applied from the Stranger card to this ACR, so credit goes to Daniel Blair for the inspiration of this whole thing. Thank you, Daniel Blair. So the position was, going back for 1 second, we got the card with the 5-card break, we've turned it down, and then we've taken the top card. If you're careful with the angles and don't go too high and flash, you can actually do a little pirouette if you want, and you can control it and have practice angles. You can do a little pirouette flourish. I hope I'm saying it correctly. And then deal it inside the pack. The first time you can do it, and then the rest of the spectators more involved. And so it builds a routine because they're doing everything, or most of the work, and the magic is still happening, which is kind of cool. So you push in the card, you show it's not on top. It's 3 cards down, but just be careful not to flash this blue card. So you show it's not on top, it's not on bottom, but you say if you snap your fingers, and there's ample amounts of time because of misdirection, and they see that you're not there yet, you're not doing anything yet, you have ample amounts of time to get the 3-card break anytime you want. I got it later just because I blunk out, but really there's ample amount of time. Or you could use the thumb break to get it whenever you want, and then just retransfer it to there. Boom, you got 3 cards. So you got lots of opportunities. Just get the 3-card break. We show the card, it isn't there. Add it to here, so now it's 4 cards. Break above 4 cards. And then you say, but if you give it a wave, or if you give it a snap, or whatever gesture, the card will rise. And you do a quadruple lift, and you show the card. Okay. So then we do it again. Put it inside the center. Pirouette if you want. Don't pirouette it from an angle. You're just waiting to flash that thing. Pirouette it right here if you want. And then you ask the spectator to tell you when to stop. They say they do so. They can push it in. It's not on top. But if we, and here's the interesting part. It's not on top. But here's the fun part. If we get the card, and actually if you just give it a wave, not like that. Or there's many ways to play around with it. I should have said if you give it a wave like that, and then give a wave. Oh, it didn't change yet. Maybe you need a wave like this, and then you can do the wave. I do the standing. It looks much better than on the table. It looks haphazard on the table with a twirl change, but it looks amazing here. So you got to break top card right here, 2 cards right here, and being careful not to flash the blue card. So you got to break a double break right here. I just turn my hand in, and I get a double, pushing off 2 cards, pulling back real fast. But if you do at a 45-degree angle, it's very hard to see that you get that. Without a break, from an angle, I got the break. Okay. You say if I give it a wave, it'll change. Can you give a wave? No, I think it's maybe the wave like this. Whatever pattern you want to say to justify it. And you give it a wave, and you do the twirl change, which looks like this. Your recessive middle finger comes along the contacts to the left edge. Your thumb of the recessive hand contacts the bottom right edge. And I'm doing this left-handed, mind you. And then you go, as you go out, and it's when you go out that you already flip it over using your forefinger, like so. And then everything else is just for display. And eventually they see, because their mind doesn't react to it at first, it eventually just comes to accept the image. And because you did absolutely nothing when the moment was supposed to happen, they react even harder. Or so I've seen in my many performances. So one last time. Out, you've already done the flip, and then everything else is just coming to acceptance of it changing. Set the triple, which is you flipped over this card, and this card is actually a double. And this card's a blue one. Okay, and you display it and set it down. The triple, and now it's a double with the 2 cards right here. And so they're reacting. You let them react for a second, and then say we're going to make it more impossible. Now in the performance I lagged a little bit, but it was fine. No one knew what was going on. I was just fumbling a little with the card. What we do is we swing cut off half the pack. Maybe a little bit more than half, so you could get a better display. So you only get, less than half the pack, so you only get a couple of cards right here. You won't really need much here. You want all the cards over here for a better display. You'll see what I mean. We now use our thumb. I can't really think of a better method. Maybe you can come up with a better one. Maybe you can do maybe a 2-card thumb count and then flip it over. And so you get that card. But what I did was I just used my thumb to pick up and get a feel for 2 cards. And I'm making sure I've got that double right here. And we have our other cards right here ready to do a thumb fan. Use our first finger and second finger. So this pack is ready to do a thumb fan. This first finger and second finger, grab the double, put it on the edge, and let it drop down. Okay. And now we're going to use a ruse, or just a little way to guide the spectator's attention so we can cover the blue card. You're going to like this one. So we're right here. We got a break underneath however we did amongst the 2 cards. You can lift up and see for yourself. You can display it towards the audience to make sure you got that break correctly, that you didn't get an extra card, or that maybe you only got the single card. Because if the color changes, that'd be bad. We got the break underneath. Then we turn it down. And now here's what we do. We then use our thumb. This is going to happen a lot of action, and you have to practice from the mirror for this. Thumb contacts the center of the card and angles it towards yourself. And you angle it so first of all, as it comes up, it's an angle thing, and it has to be done in a decent succession, rapid succession. Because if you do it slowly, you can see the blue card. And if you do it too slowly, you can see flash this card as it comes up that it is in the card. But if it's done in motion or in a transfer motion, you say, okay, now we're going to try something else out. And if you do it in a transfer motion, the card is not seen because it's moving, transiting. This card is displaying a fan, however you want to do it. So this card is, or you can do a fan, giving the misdirection. We need some ample misdirection. It could just be the gesture of repositioning that you do the motion, it's not flashing. So we want to avoid flashing here and flashing right here. So what we do, the card's ready for a thumb fan. We turn the card up and say, I'm going to need your help. And you have the blue card towards yourself, so this is viewable from 270 degrees of routine. Just be careful about this card. So you ask the spectator, okay, and you can tilt it downwards, so you got this, and you got the maximum cover, so you're not flashing this card. Neither in the performance. I was making sure I didn't. And the spectator tells me when to stop whenever they like. It won't be the best thumb fan because of the conditions, but you make it work whenever you want. And they eventually say stop right there, let's say. Okay? We do the usual Dan and Dave thing, or what's common in ACRs is to do a card to mouth, and this unique version is unique how you get into this position, so I think we're fine. This is my own variation of the card to mouth. Within an ACR, gotta love it. So they push you, you go forward, extend your hand forward, push it inside, and as you make sure they go forward, pushing inside, and the misdirection's right there, that's when your hand comes up and goes to your mouth and drops off the blue card. Now we'll assume this card's in my mouth, even though I'm speaking to continue on the routine, but just assume it's in my mouth. Okay, so that's in my mouth. They push it inside. You can square up all the cards. You can give it a riffle. And then in the misdirection, if they look at the cards, just the cards, you can show a couple cards, and they say nothing. You snap your fingers, look up, and then they see this card right in their face, and they're just laughing. And notice, you still have not flashed that blue back card. And we're setting up for the big stranger card finish, which is great. And there's many ideas you can do about this. You could do one last flash like I did in performance. I got a double underneath a random card, and I display it casual, offhandedly. That's a cool trick, don't you think? And I did a more complicated version, just so I can show off a slight. But in actuality, you can just get this card, put inside the center, and then just do a double undercut and gain that card to the bottom for a Mercury card full position. If you want to be fancy like me, we can do it one last time. And we say, wasn't that a great card trick? And you can show the contrast. Wasn't that a great card trick? We haven't even gotten to the stranger card. And then from this double, you can insert into the pack. Make sure it's fair that you show the signature. And it's like this. Make sure to show it's red. So you see its signature, you see it's red. It's absolutely fair. We do a diagonal, the first half of a diagonal palm shift. And so you got the card from, this is a double by the way. We shove this card in, flash it one last time, push on inside. This is optional. This is an optional handling. You could just put the card in and double undercut to the bottom. From here, I get a little peel off the bottom card of the double as I square everything up, and then double undercut it to the bottom. So in action, right here, and there you go. Now, wasn't that a cool card trick? We haven't even gotten to that blue card yet. And you put this card inside, push it in, you peel it off, and then you double undercut. The main idea was to get their selection, which was signed, to the bottom. Hell, I'm making it more complicated than it is. I could have just done this, done that, take the single card, just take it as a single, and push it inside. I don't know why I even did that. Whatever. You want to be a move monkey? Be a move monkey. I decided to be a move monkey for the performance. Whatever. We got the cards to the bottom. Now we're going to do a Mercury card fold. It's available in many sources. If you just go to Jay Sankey's Paperclip DVD, you got all the stuff you need. It's a great DVD. I'm giving full promotion to him because he has a great material, and that's where I put this routine into. So, the Mercury card fold, essentially, I'm just going to loosely break it down, but you should get other sources because my ideas might not be that great. Jay Sankey's is better. We fold it with our forefinger. We push the card down, and we're going to fold this card, by the way. Fold it down, and so it goes like this, and then as it comes in contact, as the 7 diamonds is pushed downwards, and this is done on the misdirection of the blue 7 diamonds, and they can check it out but not open it yet, or just the relaxation of the offbeat of the moment that this move is done. We fold the card downwards, and then our fingers right here, second, third, and fourth. First, second, and third. Press down the card, folding it in the first fold, and then so that's the first half done, and the second half comes to play, bending around the thumb, and then the other fingers just curl in and completing the fold so it goes into quarters. And it won't be perfect, but it'll be close enough. And then from there, you can use a deck. There's many different handlings on this. Also, I credit John Armstrong because he has really good tips on this. And then after you've bent it downwards, then you can, and now it's in quarters, but it hasn't been pressed yet, you can press it along the deck with one hand. And you got that. Again, it will not be absolutely perfect. Mine in performance was really, really horrid. I'm surprised I got away with it. But you make it work. Okay? You press down, and you got this. Okay? And it's just being held in a loose finger palm. Well, not even finger palm yet. You're just holding it by the second and third fingers. Eventually, you're going to do it into finger palm. So we say, yeah, we haven't even got to the blue card yet. And you can do this single-handedly. They can see it. They can play around with it. Whatever. So we've got that card right there. You set down the pack, and as you set down the pack, now you fully put into finger palm. And now there may be a little bit of heat, but there's not heat yet. We adjust and align, if you can, the paperclip card to this one, if you can. If it's face up. If you can't, it doesn't really matter. Now the paperclip thing, it's called The Optical Switch by Jay Sankey's wonderful paperclip DVD. Just in quick motion, you grab the whole card, and instead of take off the paper clip, you take the whole card and everything as you give the audio illusion of sliding the whole card with this paper clip off, retaining this card into the finger palm, and then you're left with the card you switched out from here. So again, this is the random paperclip card, finger palm card right here, comes over, and then the thumb stays right here, but pressure so the card and the paperclip can ride or slide against the switched out card. You're going to switch out. You get that. And the illusion's pretty amazing, and it gets a lot of great reactions from the spectators. Again, one last time. And there you go. Immediately pocket this card. No one cares about it, and you can reuse it as a repeat for the same performance because all you're losing is one signed card each time from an outside pack, which is great so you don't burn through any of your actual packs. And you got this card, and you're left innocently. Then you say, you know, it would be amazing. Would it be amazing if I had predicted what card you were going to choose in the very beginning? And they go, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But since you're really, really far ahead. But you say, I don't want to do just something pretty dang cool. I want to do something really amazing. You unfold the card, and then you can slowly show it's a blue back card with their signature. And if they don't get it, if they don't understand it, then you can show the blue back and show it to them. They can keep that. And you notice you can put emphasis on the red pack of cards. And that's just a beautiful stranger card plot where it connects the card jumping not just to the top. The justification for Magician's Law is if it can continually jump to the top and to the mouth, what stops it from jumping to somewhere else? And then there it is, magic, and then it's in some box or something, sealed in a bunch of silks or whatever. So what? I don't really care. But for this, why I cared, and this took me like 7 years to come up with, 7 to 8 years, is because they care because it's their selection, and it's the same selection, but in a different color. And it didn't jump anywhere. It was under their hand the whole time. That selection jumped under my hand, and it changed color? What? It was there the whole time? That blows people's minds. All the different impossibilities of it all building up upon the same moment. And it's just so mind-blowing that it's a great memory. They can keep this. Your pack cards that's unharmed. I'm doubtful you'd want to do anything else because it'll take a lot to beat this card to anywhere, but just with a paperclip switch out, the optical switch by Jay Sankey. That's pretty amazing. Anyways, with all that said, my name is Dan, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial of alternate. I believe I called it alternate dimension. My take on the ACR card plot. Thank you, Daniel Blair. Thank you to everyone I credited or will credit in the credits below. And to everyone who watched this, I hope you have a good one.